You ever noticed how the term writer's block seems a little bit exclusionary? Hey all, Cornelius here, and yeah, I'm not actually a writer per se. Now, of course, I have tried to write stuff, I've written scripts for these videos way back when. They weren't that good, but I did it. And I'm working on a script for a screenplay that I think could be really cool. But nonetheless, I've learned that writing in general is really challenging. There are times when I really want to, I want to make my story, get further into it, but I can't think of anything good to write. This phenomenon is commonly referred to as writer's block. But like I said, I've been doing some writing stuff. I understand how, when you're trying to write, your brain can go blank, but I don't think it's limited to just writing in the traditional sense. I'm more of a musician than I am a writer, so I have a lot more experience with that. And I've tried writing songs, never really successfully, because you sit down to write a song and you're in a mood where it's like, I want to create something really good. And then your brain goes blank and you can't think of anything. And no matter how much you really you want to get this done, you want to get a new song, you want something that you can show people, yes, I can do this. Your brain draws a blank and you're like, I got nothing. But, you could say writing a song is still writing. At which point I'd say, but it's just artistic stuff in general. It's not just writing. Any project where you need to seek out inspiration before partaking in it is something that can be affected by writer's block in my experience. As you may have noticed, there have been a couple of additions to this wall, and what you can see, these are drawings that I have made. During the month of October, I literally did a challenge where for the whole month I had to draw something new every single day. And it was a really fun challenge. I did enjoy it. But it's surprisingly difficult when you're like, okay, I need to draw something, but you can't think of anything to draw. And it's not just a case of, I don't feel like drawing. That's not right. That's not artist block. Let's be honest. It's artist block. It's not just, I don't feel it. I don't feel anything right now. I would say artist block is when you want to. You have a drive to do something, but you have zero inspiration. Looking at some of these, they're works that I did, and it's a case of I saw something and it's like, yeah, that'd be cool, or a project, this is literally concept art for that screenplay I'm working on. It's all things that my brain could think of something I wanted to draw while I was in a mood of I really want to be drawing right now. But if it's a case of my brain's like, I really want to be drawing right now, and I can't see, my guitar that I've been working on a way to redesign it so it works better for me, or the screenplay I'm working on, or just goofy comics I've done. It's a challenge. Some ways of combating this, I know when I was doing this whole Inktober challenge, because that's what it's called, there are websites with prompts of things you can do to, help you think of, draw, like the challenges would say something like calm or something like that. And it's like, I can see that, draw what you think of when you think of calm, but that's not always the most helpful, because then you still need to think of what would that look like to you. And like with drawing, where you'd be thinking of, okay, I want to draw a person, then you got to deal with the challenge of the self-loathing dread machine, I guess. What's that song? Irrational Insatiable Dread Machine, something like that. When trying to work through that feeling of inadequacy, It becomes especially hard if you have something to compare yourself to that's way superior. This is possibly one of my best drawings that I've done. And it's a spaceship I designed ages ago for an idea that I never figured out how to develop. But when I'm comparing it to far superior works of art, these are some drawings that my girlfriend did that I thought were, really cool looking, and then I compare it to, that's the closest thing to a good caricature I can draw. When comparing myself to other people's works, it's a challenge. I mean, seriously, this drawing, my camera's autofocus literally just locked onto one of the faces because it recognizes that's supposed to be a face. Go to my drawing, and it's just like, yeah, it's a wall. Despite all this, one thing that Abby's been telling me is don't look at how bad your work is. Look at what you like about what you've done. Going back to that skeleton comic that I showed you a hot second ago, I thought it was funny and looked almost halfway decent. Is it detailed fine art? No. Do I think that it belongs in a museum? No. We as artists need to learn to not feel so self-doubting and so frustrated with ourselves, because when dealing with artist block, it's easy to feel like you're completely inadequate, you're not good enough. You can't even do something as simple as draw something you think is good. But the more we say that to ourselves, the more we're going to bring ourselves down. The more we're going to be, we're going to get frustrated and we'll be even less productive moving forward. And yes, I'm talking to myself just as much as I'm talking to literally anybody who could be watching this. If you're a creative person who's feeling stressed out because you can't do it, or your work isn't good enough, you have no idea what to do next, any of that, I don't know, just take a breather, relax a bit, catch your breath. Something will come to you eventually. Just when it happens, jump on it. Hey all, thanks so much for watching. The season is almost over. I've got 2 more episodes left. Exciting. Working on that. It's going to be a fun thing to do. Yeah. Annotation, subscribe, all that. Bye.